Well, hello, hello. This is Angel Regis with Music Gods Magazine. You know how we do over here. We connect with our phenomenal artists and entrepreneurs in our communities. And Music Gods, we just feel so grateful that we're able to bring you that connection. So without further ado, we have a phenomenal artist. And I'm going to let him do most of the talking because you got to hear this young man. We learned so much from each other. Mr. Philup Banks. Take it away, Mr. Banks. Welcome.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank Music Gods for giving not only the community but artists like myself the platform for this. So I just want to start off. I'll go by Philup Banks. I'm from Ypsilanti, Michigan. I come from a long line of music, like you saw through my family. Like I have family that's like singers that dealt with the Motown era, like Marvin Gaye and the Temptations, up to some of my family being signed to Usher and T-Pain. So there's a lot of singers in my family, but I'm probably one of the first rappers that they take serious. So I take pride in that.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You good. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, but right now, as far as with my music right now, I have a song called Kylie Rihanna, which is really buzzing. Akon stamped it. He heard it, and he actually wanted me to come out on the road with him for about a month and stuff, but it just didn't end up happening. So I don't know. I'm still growing the song. It's getting played in Berlin, Africa. Like it's slowly growing. So right now I'm about to shoot the video later this month for that.
Oh, that's awesome. So let's go back a little bit before we get into this delicious part that you just mentioned, because I can't let that one go. Let's just put this on ice for a little bit, just a little bit. So you from my goodness, that's Black history right there. A musical family. And I know sometimes whether it's music or, let's say, a trade, electrical engineering, music, fashion, whatever it is, when we're from a family that's, it's saturated with that type of industry, sometimes you feel that pressure of, oh, my God, can I be as good or as great as, my parents or sister or brother? Did you ever feel that way? Or, how did you find your own, Philup Banks, who he is as an artist, individually? How did you sort of find your way through such a rich legacy within your family, but, made it your own? Could you give us a little insight into that?
Definitely. The way I did that is I just listened to them as I was younger and really took in what they said, but at the same time I knew I had to be original. So I really just started rapping. Like I said, most of them were singing. So that's not really in me. I can I have a little melody, not like that though. So I just really just started telling my story and my life through, rapping instead of singing.
Wow. And you mentioned that word, your story. And, I want to make sure our listeners hear this because it's your story, and I'm sure you know this, Philup, that resonates. Because you're telling your truth, your perspective, but your raw truth. That goes a long way in connecting with who your audience is, connecting with who your fan base is, because everybody got a story. You got to start somewhere. But that, that word that you mentioned, yes, if you know what your story is and you're bold enough and you're not afraid to say, to talk about it, to sing about it, write about it creatively, whatever it is, it will resonate and people will understand. You'll draw them in just by that. The story is important. So, Mr. Banks, who influences you? I would say, our gods today. Who are our musical gods that influences you in your music, or your writing, performance? Who can you say, off the top of your head?
Right now, well, for real, first and foremost, I always thought he was creative and he stood out. Another artist is Travis Scott. I like him because he produces his own music as well, and he's able to really get into the culture and find what everybody wants to hear, and then really materialize it and make it big. One more. I also like. My favorite group is Mobb Deep, which is they're from the '90s, but
right.
I feel like when I want to get lyrical, I kind of tend to go towards that way.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So let's talk about some of the, I know we have many artists, emerging, and those who have, experienced some level of success, but still are out there grinding and, they want to get to that next level and break that mold, whether they're stagnant or not. But I know that sometimes a lot of it is, how do I get in? How can I break through? There are resources that are not afforded that, me, that I don't even know where to go. I need the money. I need to be able to market myself as a brand. I need to be able to know where the resources are to connect with the who's who in that industry. And I know sometimes, a lot of the times it's not that easy, unless you know somebody who knows somebody who connected you with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And you were fortunate enough that you said you connected with Akon, right, who co-signed and believed in your work enough and your craft to be able to, reach out and say, hey, I want you to come along with me on this tour. But a lot of artists, there's like so many thousands of artists who don't get that opportunity. What advice can you give them, to even, my gosh, begin to find the solutions or to know where to go, how to, in your experience, obviously, how can, what can you give as far as some nuggets to help them along that way?
Far as that aspect and just meeting people and really getting into the game, I always say just do research. Like, look at who you need to really know. Because like you said earlier, it's who you know. So
right.
Even on the Akon thing, that wasn't precisely, I didn't just run into him. It was, I knew some DJs, which are prominent in the Detroit area. And, all artists, when they come here, they go play their music. I was cool with the DJ. He knew he was coming, gave me a call. Hey, I'm going to play on the song. So that was all off of connection. So, and I did my research before I even met those DJs to know that, hey, I need to know them. So I would say definitely do that. And just, look at social media. Maybe if you know Akon or whatever artist you want to run into, you see they're going to be here. Go there. Even Big Sean, he knew Kanye was at the radio station, went there and freestyled for him.
Wow. You heard that, listeners. Do your research. You have to do your due diligence. Find out. We have social media right now is leveraging so much. You can be wherever you are in the world, and you can find information that you need. Start, and what I'm saying is start locally. You have to start somewhere. You got to start planting the seeds somewhere. Don't be so, bashful or shy and not wanting to. You have local radio stations that are doing phenomenal work right now. If people from the front end to the back end in the music industry, get to know them. They're on social media. Get in on, connect with them. We have so many different outlets, so many different areas that you can get your foot in. Don't be shy. It's your brand. Represent who you are. And not be so stuck always online too, because there's a lot of stuff happening offline. Wouldn't you agree? Parties, they got events. Wouldn't you agree?
Showcases.
Yeah, and I think what Mr. Banks is saying is, you want something bad enough, it'll happen. So who would you say right now that you probably have been following as an emerging artist that is doing some, great things right now? And it doesn't have to be on this huge mainstream, but I want people to see that, you can start from being a local superstar or just, an emerging artist where you don't have such a big following. But, I know you guys are, connecting with other artists such as yourself that you see is doing some wonderful work, whether it's a male or female artist right now.
Right. It's actually an artist out here in Detroit. His name is T. Grizzly. And he had a song called First Day Out. He put on, like, he just dropped the video. And, like, now I think it has, like, 6 million views or something crazy like that. But
wow.
yeah, like, I actually caught the video. It was at, like, 400,000. And then I just, like, that was in one day. The next day it was at, like, 800. And then, like, I actually was fortunate enough to meet him. I met him at a radio station. And then, like, after that, this guy took off. Now he has, like, he got signed, and he's with, like, Kendrick Lamar and big artists. So just seeing something like that is inspiring to me, especially knowing how close he lives to me.
Right, right. You know, and I think a lot of people don't realize that, you know, these are your local superstars right there. They started where you are, and, you know, they are, you know, just blazing the way, you know. Get to know them. And I had to ask that question because I want our listeners to understand sometimes we want to reach way up there, but you have, of course, Gawds doing phenomenal work right there locally where you are. Get to know them because you never know who's connected to whom. You know, you don't know, but you have to be brave enough. You have to put yourself out there. And another thing I would say, be prepared. Because so many times I've seen or heard artists or not, you don't have a bio, you don't have, you know, you're just not prepared. You might be asked for an on-the-spot interview or, you know, who you are, what you do, what genre of music, you know, who influences you, all this stuff. Be prepared. And wouldn't you say that's something that some artists struggle with? You know, because I've seen it many times before. Mr. Banks, wouldn't you say that's something that they struggle with sometimes, not, you know, being prepared in certain areas, or whether it's from the business side, because there's a business side to being, you know, because you guys are entrepreneurs, obviously, you know, but there's also the business end of it as well. We're not expecting everybody to be experts in business. That's not what it's about. But be aware, you know, there are a lot of resources out there, you know, that you can, you know, you can invest in, because you're investing in yourself as an artist, as a business person, as an entrepreneur. With that being said, what are some of the things that you've been learning about the business? You know, I know you encounter a lot of challenges, but what are some of the things you've been learning about the business of, you know, an artist being in business that you probably didn't know before, but that has pretty much opened your eyes to a lot of things so far?
I would say, like, so really, I just been learning, like, stay humble with it. Like, if you meet somebody and maybe you're up one day, the next day that connection might go away, and then you're back where you were. And those people that you treated arrogantly, I'm saying that word so messed up, but the people treated bad, basically, like, they'll remember that, and then it'll be a hard road for you. So I feel like just learning just to be humble, like, be yourself. Don't act like who you're not, and don't treat people bad.
Wow, that's awesome advice. Awesome. What inspires you on a daily basis? Because I know artistically and creatively, you know, you have your own muse. There are certain things that trigger, you know, the writing process. There are certain things that trigger you know, your performance. You know, whether you get into this other persona. You know, some people, you know, they have to get into that mode, that mindset. What are some of the things that inspire Mr. Philup Banks, the artist, on, you know, on a daily basis? What inspires you?
Stuff that inspires me is just knowing my own potential. Like, it just every day it wakes me up. Like, man, like, I know where I can take it, so that always keeps my fire lit. And then just knowing that seeing my mom after work, I just don't want her to work no more. So I know I got to work hard to, you know, that one day she could just quit her job and live comfortably.
Wow. That's awesome.
So, yeah,
go ahead. You
go
ahead.
Saying, those two things, those are the main ones.
Right. That's awesome. So, and I did mention, you know, that I'm sure, you know, with anything, we go through challenges, and sometimes that can put a damper on, our drive to just keep pushing forward on a daily basis. And then as an artist, not having readily available, platforms or resources, or just the, people, who are the big movers and shakers who are going to make it happen for your ultimate, goal as an artist to be signed or what have you. What are some of the challenges that you've been that you've gone through thus far, and how has that helped you strengthen you as an artist moving forward?
Some challenges are like, I definitely say money, because some things can come quicker if you just have the money.
Right.
Maybe sometimes you just don't have the money to pay for that extra stuff you needed for that video to make it how you really want it, or maybe just not being able to get access to like a program director of a radio station. Because, like if you can meet someone like that, then and really build a relationship, then if they like your song, they can really help take you to the top. And then another one that just happened, it's a lot of platforms out in the area, but it's not one that really, can put you to the masses, I feel like.
So, go ahead, Mr. Banks.
That was all. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Wow, that is it. Go ahead. It's interesting. Oh, okay, it's interesting because I know we have a lot of artists out there that are experiencing the same pains. In the drive is there to push through and make it big, and they're doing what they feel they should be doing, but it's just not happening. But I think looking back at where you've been and where the goals that you have set, I believe that anything, you can succeed at anything, because the more you open up yourself, the more you do, the more you connect. You might get 10 no's or 10 people who are like, we can't help you, or they might not be adequate, enough as far as the resources or the connections that they provide to you as an artist. But there's always that 11th that's going to be just the right person at the right time. And I think with you being here with us right here, that just speaks volumes, because you could have given up months ago or a year ago, you know what I mean? But you're here.
Right.
And you're pushing through. You have goals set. You have goals in mind to help your mom, to help your music career, to be a better artist, and to refine your craft as you go along. And you're going to meet many Akons and Dre's along your way, and it's only going to get better. But, I think it's just a testament to staying focused, forging ahead, and not giving up. And I'm just so elated that our readers can hear this, and our emerging artists and young artists can hear this from you. You're still here doing it, and you have goals, and you're determined to make it happen. That's so important, having that fire, and that passion for what you do. How can we as a community, because I know there's so many different things happening all the time, what are some of the ways that you think us as a community can help support the artists, the emerging artists?
I feel like as a community, the way help can be, like, if you see an artist that really has the talent and really can take it somewhere, like, support them, even if I feel like people are stuck in a you didn't like my picture, so I'm not going to like your picture type era. So if somebody didn't support them, if that person has the talent, and even they know it and they like the song, they might not push it. So I feel like some people just need to get out their ways and really support what could really make the whole community look good. Because if one person gets on, maybe they'll be like, hold on, let's see what else that city or that small town has.
Absolutely. Wow. You hear, readers, listeners, you don't have to be in love with the craft of the song or whatever, but it's that support, because they put a lot of work into it, a lot of work. dedication, blood, sweat, and tears, financially and otherwise. We need to support our young emerging artists. They need us. They're part of the communities that we serve. How are we not doing that? It's important, and I can't say that enough. It's important that we support. Sometimes it takes, whether it's a word of encouragement or knowing someone and referring that artist, who can help them along the way. You may not be the ultimate answer, but you're a part of that, you're a piece of that puzzle that they need to succeed, to push them through. It helps our communities. They're doing positive stuff. They're communicating their craft in so many dynamic, beautiful ways. And how are we not supporting? We need to. And I'm so glad that you said that, Mr. Philup Banks. I'm really, really, right here, Music Gawds magazine, you have a friend in us. We're going to support, and we're going to continue to support artists such as yourself in our communities, because we know that it's important. Collectively, we need to do that. And just remember, no matter what, you can come here and, promote whatever it is. Just let us know. We'll rock with it. You have a supportive system right here with us, because that's one of the reasons why we created Music Gawds magazine, to provide those resources, and opportunities for, emerging artists and our music professionals. And, we're just elated. We're just elated to have you here today so that our listeners can hear you, and get a feel into who you are and what you do. What are some of the upcoming projects that you have, or, releases that might be coming out in the near future that you can tell us about?
Well, I'm working on a summer release, like an album. It's going to be called More Champagne, Please, because I actually have my own brand, which is champagne only. So, with my music, I like to incorporate it. So, yeah, I have a project called More Champagne, Please, which mostly will have production from me, because I produce my own beats as well. Oh. And then, then it'll probably be a few producers that I really just always wanted to work with. And it's actually a producer named DDS. I went to high school with him. He produced Try Me for an artist named Age Love. That was real big. So me and him are working on a collab project as well.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So where can we connect with you on, whether it's online or offline? Give us your links and how we can connect with you as a community and, reach out, to you. What are some of your, whether it's your website, your social media links, how can we do that?
Well, my website is philupbanks.com, which is PHILUP banks.com. And then social media on Instagram, on Philup Banks. On Twitter, I'm Philup X Banks. And then Facebook, I have a fan page, which is Philup Banks as well.
Oh, okay, awesome. So, listeners, there's no way you shouldn't connect with him. He's got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, his website. Please connect with this young man. We need to support our young emerging artists, our young artists. Let's all do that collectively. They need us, and it's a cyclical relationship. We have to help them, because they're out there doing great things creatively, and it's just an honor to see our young individuals, young artists doing great things in our communities. We need to support them, however way we can, please. Well, it was wonderful speaking with you today, Mr. Philup Banks. Any other nuggets of wisdom you'd like to drop before we close? And a bit of advice.
Okay. Well, for some advice, I want to just say, keep going. Even if you think you're far, just keep going, because you don't know how close you are, or truthfully. And then also I want to just thank you guys again for reaching out and really embracing me and making me feel comfortable with the Music Gawds.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's what we do.
You want me to spit something?
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Okay. I ain't no ordinary Joe. Say you ain't familiar, I'ma let you boys know. Ambition keep me confident, my hustle keep me dominant. People wanna kick it, but I never got the time for it. Had to get my green up since the free lunch. Married to the game, I'm debating on a prenup. I remain G, but my chick got some B cups. Waited too long, man, now you can't keep up. It's too late to be my friend. Trying to get mama a house, plus I'm saving for a Benz. We ain't got the same vision, looking through a different lens. $1 million dream since I was crushing on the land. Yeah, no days off till it pays off. Still balling even when I take my J's off. Gotta take it slow, cause I had to grow up fast. On my truck floor, the way the boys secure it bad. Thanks.
All right. Awesome. Yay. I loved it. I loved it. See, exclusive right here. That's how we rock with our emerging artists. That's how we rock with them. You know, Music Gawds loves our artists, and we're going to keep supporting them. Thank you so much, Mr. Philup Banks. And I would like to thank our listeners today. This is Angel Regis with Music Gawds Magazine. Thank you for listening.
Shout out to my Champagne Only family. Shout out to all of my family. And shout out to the Music Gawds.